Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Pineapple coming at you with another fun video. Thank you everyone for your patronage. I appreciate all the views that I'm getting. It's nice. And if, I'm not doing this for the celebrity and to be a big social media star. I'm doing this for y'all. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I enjoy making the videos. So we're going to follow the same format we always do here. We're going to talk about Florida living and life. We're going to talk a little bit about music, and then we're going to hit on wrestling at the very end. That being said, the first two portions are going to take up the majority, but there are a few pressing issues I need to talk about when it comes to wrestling. All right, so Florida living. It's still hot, in case you guys were wondering. It is Florida, and it is July, and it is 95 plus degrees every day with like 90% humidity until it rains. And then we get a little bit of a thunderstorm, and then it cools down into the mid 80s. So that's nice. Another fun part about it being so darn hot down here is when you wear your mask and you work outside, you sweat a lot, and then sometimes those oils build up, and then you get a little blemish there on your nose. It's kind of like I'm a teenager again, and the other day I just woke up and big old blemish on my nose. It's okay though. I mean, if that's the price I gotta pay for keeping everybody safe, it's a price. It's well worth it. Yeah. That being said, we did have a little bit of a COVID scare in my household. My lovely wife worked with somebody who did test positive, so of course we did the responsible thing and we got tested. Thankfully, they both came back negative, so we're in the clear. Actually, my lovely wife is at work right now, and I will be working again later on this evening. So there's that. That was fun. Let's see, what else is going on here in Florida? Oh, yeah, I mean, the cases just keep piling up every day. We're shattering. We're getting all these visitors, and I actually spoke to somebody the other day that said that, it's all a hoax. It's all there to scare you, and it's all political to get Trump, out of the office, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I said, we're all entitled to our own opinions. It's not a political thing. It's a keep everybody safe, public health thing, So if you have a little bit of discomfort for the hour that you're out doing your errands, but it keeps everybody safe, I mean, what's the harm in that? A little bit of, the, what is that saying? Oh, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. For the good of everybody, if we could all just suck it up just a little bit. Ooh, that was some thunder. Looks like we're getting the rain a little bit early today. It even woke up Bella. All right. Great thing about live videos. Anything can happen. So, yeah, COVID. Let's talk. Let's switch it up a little bit about a couple serious issues that have been going on in the world, especially the U.S. lately. Well, specifically me. I encountered a little bit of casual racism the other day. Just to give you the brief rundown, I was in a car driving somebody home the other day, and they thought it'd be cool because I'm white to go ahead and drop the N-word in the car with me, like it was no big deal. Not cool. And I let him know very quickly that it was not cool. In fact, I may have threatened to throw him out of the moving car if he said it again in my presence. That may have happened, So, because I believe, just like post 9/11, see something, say something. The best way to combat it is to let people know that that's not cool. And they need to educate themselves about not only the history of the word, but about how it makes other people feel. So, yeah, that was a little bit awkward for him. It wasn't awkward for me. He's like, oh, sorry. I'm like, no, dude. I'm like, educate yourself. You're an idiot. So I'm going to let it slide this one time, but if you ever do it again, I'm not giving you a warning. I'm just throwing you out my car while it's moving. So that, and there seems to be a little bit of a rise of anti-Semitism. So that in the media, Nick Cannon specifically, Deshaun Jackson specifically, also not cool. Also not cool. If you think you're better than somebody because you believe a different way and they don't believe the same way you do, so they're you're better than them, or they're less than human, or they're an idiot, or they're stupid. Also, not tolerated. So just don't do that in my presence. Actually, just don't do it. How about that? How about we all, we're all the same. We all bleed red. We're all just trying to get by in this crazy world. I know it's tough. I say it all the time. The golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated. It's not hard. If we all did that, the world would be a little bit better place. So, anyway, that's a bit frustrating. That's on top of everything else. That's what's going on, and I had to encounter that. But like I said, see something, say something, and I am very vocal about that. I'm very strong in my beliefs, and it is what it is. So, anyway, let's move on to some fun stuff. Let's move on to some music. So let's move on to one of my favorite bands of all time. They walk that fine line between genius and madness. I'm not sure which ones they are, but there's System of a Down is a great fun band that occasionally get back together and do some stuff. They haven't really put out an album in a long time, since the mid 2000s. And one of my favorite songs that they put out is called BYOB. And if you don't know this song, it is in fact a little bit of a political song. And I know what you're thinking. Do we have to keep talking about politics and race and class wars and things like that just for this video? Yes, we do. Because it's important. It's important to educate yourself. And you're like, oh, I don't like political music. Do you like Black Sabbath? All right, they put out this little song called War Pigs. It's a pretty damning song about the Vietnam War and class wars. And, do you like Marvin Gaye? Yeah. What's going on? Yeah. Also, along the same lines, it's not all bubblegum pop. Sometimes, you need artists and people of prevalence to push these issues, to make people have these conversations. But anyway, BYOB. Yeah, it's an anti-war song, and it's crazy. It's got about 4 or 5 different movements, and it starts out with the sound of marching boots going down, and then it moves into like fast hardcore, raw, and then he says a little bit of a piece, and then the first movement comes on, and it's a cool groove, la 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 la, and then it's going, and then it switches, and it goes back to the fast hardcore, parts, and where they're screaming and yelling, and then it slows back down, goes into everybody's gonna have a good time, that catchy little hook, and he says la 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 la, which is fun, and then hard fast part. And then it goes into some just repetitive yelling about why do they always send the poor? Why do they always send the poor? Why don't presidents fight the war? Why do they always send the poor? So, kind of harkens back to that whole, that whole Black Sabbath War Pigs thing. The class wars. The haves always send the have-nots to do their dirty work. Gets you thinking a little bit. It's easy for them because they don't have, it's not them. It's all about the dollar bills, y'all, and how can they line their pockets and Halliburton and, all that fun stuff. But it is what it is, all we can do is educate ourselves about these things and, try to combat them the best we can to make a good society. If we all come together, we all learn what's going on in the world, we all educate ourselves, we all love each other, and the world will be a better place. I know I've probably already said that in the video, but it rings true. And definitely check that song out. It's crazy fun, but it's crazy. And now wrestling. Not much going on in wrestling, really. Just my favorite thing keeps continuing, the Orange Cassidy Chris Jericho feud keeps going on. It's a lot of silly fun. And then one bone I have to pick with AEW, they tout themselves as having the best tag team division in the world, and they've got all these great tag teams. And They do. I mean, you got Lucha Brothers, you got Best Friends, you got Inner Circle, you got, all these, the Butcher and the Blade. You can go on and on and on. However, their tag team champions are two singles wrestlers that joined together and they held the belts. Not a true tag team. You got Hangman Page and you got Kenny Omega. We're singles wrestlers, and they're fine singles wrestlers, and they're good characters. But why have them be the tag team champions when you tout yourself as having the best tag team division in the world? And all these great tag teams, but you have two single guys hold the belts. It's beyond me. Maybe there's some kind of end game going on here. I don't know. There's been whispers of the revival of the Four Horsemen coming up, which would be cool. I would like to see that. I would like to see kind of a heel faction to rise up and take over, because the Inner Circle, while they are heels, I don't see them taking over and being a true force. But anyway, that's wrestling. So there we go, folks. Thank you again. I know we talked about some serious things today. We didn't really exactly keep it light, but be good to each other. Treat others as you want to be treated. Love each other, and remember, I am the table.